And we're waiting. Done. Redirecting to YouTube. Here we go. And I will close YouTube right here. Um, Oops, there's YouTube. All right, so we're going to close that off. And good morning, everybody. I'm going to close this window. There we go. We close that window. That should be okay. Got it. And back to here. So good morning, everybody. So a little experimentation, flipping screens around. Hopefully this is going live on YouTube because I can't have YouTube open at the same time that I'm doing it. But it worked with Facebook. I'm assuming it will be the same. So good morning, everybody. This is Rob Gearing, the owner of the TL2I Cash Mailer, founder of Traffic Leads to Income and the Massive Success System. So welcome to our Massive Success webinar this morning. As always, we're going to log in to the TL2I Cash Mailer. This is not only an advertising site for you guys and gals, but this is also a teaching and a training and a learning environment. So it's not just a safe list. It's not just a viral mailer. I would be very hurt if somebody said, "Oh, it's just a viral mailer. Don't worry about it." We go into all kinds of things. We basically cover just about every aspect of business, and we're open to new ideas and new concepts as we have the ability to expand to whatever we want to do. But we have a core set of principles that we believe in, and a lot of it centers on you, and a lot of it centers on wanting to meet you. Even to the level of live. I have a feeling like in 2024, there's going to be a live event somewhere where we're all going to be able to potentially get together. And that's going to be exciting. So we'll keep our eyes and ears open on that from one of our probably third-party opportunities, income recommendations. But that's what we do. That's what we believe in. And along the ride, you learn about list building, you learn about lead generation, you learn about follow-up, and you learn about being a leader and a teacher and a coach and finding your calling. And that's what I'm going to talk about today is finding your calling. I had a very eventful weekend in Arizona with my daughter, who teaches me things every day. You know, your kids can teach you things every day, as you can teach your kids things every day. Your friends can teach you things every day. A mentor can teach you something, and you can teach a mentor something. So it's really a vast community where everybody is welcome, no matter what race, no matter what national origin, religion, whatever. There is no boundaries to that. We don't exclude anybody. We are all just a big open community of teaching and learning. But I want to start interjecting some life coach, some life lessons, some things that I can do and I have to be careful because there is in today's world and probably through most of time, it's easy for people to misconstrue or misunderstand things. It's easy for people to misinterpret or be offended. So that's why I want to be very clear about my journey may be different than your journey. And I'm not here to make anybody's journey the same as mine. I'm here to tell stories, educate, and provide what people want to provide. But in my services that I offer, I offer clearly business coaching, online teaching, helping people put their online business on the right path and whatnot. But I want to get into a little bit more for people that are interested. I may be able to help in other areas, and I'll talk about that in the inner voice part, and it's not going to be something you have to pay for either. I believe in helping the people who just come, right? The people who just come and follow deserve more, in my opinion. And I believe that, excuse me, my voice is not cooperating today. I believe that I have a skill set and skills beyond what you may know that I may be able to continue to help and support. Because one of my goals for 2024 is to try to really touch somebody every day, influence. But I want to do more, right? I think most people who have a passion want to do more, and I want to use more of my God-given talents, right? That's part of listening to your inner voice and all of that type of stuff, and then going out and and being a positive influencer, if you will. You hear about YouTube influencers. I'm on YouTube right now, so I guess I'm a YouTube influencer. But through my platform, through my channels, we can help people in a lot of different ways. And maybe it's not just how to figure out paid traffic or follow properly up with with a prospect. So with that being said, that's a little bit of a teaser. We're going to log in and see what surprises come with us here at TL2ICM. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my password. And that's the right one. And we're going to log in, and we're going to take our 10,000 free credits. So if you are JV, if you are a TL2L, or if you're at the highest level, MSF mod, you see this in either weekly or daily. Don't be afraid. Just click on Pay with Commissions and observe the price, which is 0, complete purchase. And now you have 10,000 credits, because credits are the sending denomination, if you will. When we talk about getting your ads out, you need credits, right? And we're a cash mailer, so you can actually convert your cash into credits. You can earn credits a little bit. Your downline earns you credits. That's why we're still viral. If you haven't noticed or weren't aware, when you have a downline who's clicking on ads, you are earning credits. You may have wonder why your balance goes up sometimes. That's why you yourself aren't earning credits from your direct clicking in the cash mail inbox, but you are getting credits from your downline doing that. Isn't that interesting? It was kind of a weird side effect of my conversion over to a pay to click, and I like it. I think it's good. But you may have your team or your downline say, well, how do I get these credits? Well, build a team and also convert your cash into credits, or just buy credits. Or if you want the better stuff, buy the paid traffic and give me a really good well-constructed lead capture page, and you will get a lot of people coming into your business. And then let's work together on follow-up, right? And the more direct follow-up, the better success you will have. I probably could do better with a prospect. I'm going to do better on a text message than I am on an email. I'm going to do better on a phone call and a Zoom than I am from a text message. And I'm really going to win if I can meet him face to face. Now that would be working the local market, which I think all things should be on your table. All things should be on your table if you want to get to your goals. Is your goal $30 a month? You may not need to do some of that extra stuff. Is your goal 1,000 or more per month, which is what our mission statement is for people that follow us and we mentor, is to get people to that level. But you've got to have not just the right income driven opportunities, but you have to have the right platform and system and skill set to do all that. It's not a one-dimensional thing, just plug in, hit an advertise button, and it's over, and you've just gotten rich. That's just not going to happen. And I feel bad for the people who go from thing to thing looking for that. They'll say, oh, Rob says you have to talk to people, so that's no good. So I'm going to go to Charlie that says I can make $5,000 every month and not talk to people, but you don't make $5,000 a month with Charlie's thing. And then you're still mad and you're still upset. And many people then come back to me again and rededicate their efforts to what I said. I'm a little bit of not in network marketing circles, but in internet marketing circles, I'm kind of a purple cow. I'm kind of somebody who people are a little taken back by and are worried, especially leaders who my message can definitely get in the way of what they are teaching people. And they're making money from those teachings that are creating 0 results, taking people on wild goose chases into all kinds of crazy areas. And, the end result is you're just back to where you were. So anyway, just watch who you follow, watch the inner voice or the voice that you listen to. I think your inner voice sometimes is the best one. And we'll get into that momentarily here. So now we're at the platform and we can, go into various things, but those levels that I talked about, JV, TL2L, or MSF mod levels, they are very coveted. And when you get to MSF mod level, look what you can do. You can click auto send and you can send these messages automatically. It's the only level that can do this. Here's all my stuff set. So my credits are dissipating, which is really good. I used to have over 1 million. Now I'm at 870,000. I have constant, and I don't send anything other than the auto send. I can go in over the top of the auto send as well. And also when you're at auto send, if you run out of credits, your mail still goes. You don't need credits for auto send. So if you really want to invest in yourself and your business and get 200 paid traffic clicks as well as a thank you, definitely go to your buy traffic and upgrade area and seriously consider the MSF mod upgrade, which is right here, new MSF new promo. And if you want to learn about what that's all about, too bad on this script I can't make a link where people can learn about this stuff, so I have to put it in the instructions, which is always our blog. And I'm finding it on my page. It should be at every level. That's WoW app, and that's our profile, and paid traffic up. So I guess it's every level except MSF mod, because you're at the highest level. But I may throw that back in here because a lot of the MSF mod leaders go, wait a minute, now I'm forgetting what the people at the lower levels are getting. So looks like maybe, and I love having opportunities in the content when I'm actually teaching the content. A lot of people would say that's silly. It's sort of fun for me. I'm like, this is how I'm always checking, do we have the best foot forward? And that's going to be maybe a little something we're going to add. All right. Anyway. So, but you can also go to trafficleadstoincome.com/blog. One of our pages is titled MMS, Massive Marketing Success, and it does tell you everything. And I have an idea where I'm going to actually insert that link into the over in this MSF mod level. So that's real easy. And I'm going to check the other levels too, but I think we're good everywhere else. And subscribe to our YouTube channel, which we're live streaming to right now. That's at every level. Every level sees that. So that way you get my content and you don't have to ask for it. You just get it. Like Steve asked me today, where's your last recording? Well, A, I didn't upload it, but it is now uploaded. So you can find last week on the YouTube channel. And B, I asked him if he was subscribed. Now, I do sometimes a login spotlight ad that actually highlights my YouTube channel. Nobody else has done a login spotlight ad, so it is open, but I don't see anybody doing it. I'll put a little advertisement in for my YouTube channel to get more subscribers, because I'm trying to get to different levels of YouTube where we get more exposure and more traffic and people coming in through the algorithm. So that takes you guys coming and you guys viewing and sharing the replays and all of that stuff. Okay. So I think that's all we're really going to share from a TL2I standpoint. But just know this is a front end marketing system. By following these steps that begin here and continue with step 2 and going forward, finishing all 7 steps will create a front end, back end marketing system for you, with TL2I being your front end, leading to all your great back end gold, right? Everything that maybe I've taught you about or recommended to you, or things that you bring to the table yourself. And we work together in helping enhance all of that. But you got to take the message and run with it. That's really the key. So I'll leave the background kind of up here. But what I wanted to talk about today is that inner voice. So that's a really rich topic. But I'll tell you a little story about the weekend. So I, visited my daughter. She goes to college, and it was a little trip to Arizona. So it was fun, and always spending time with your family and your kids is always good. This was the last Father's weekend. Next year will be Mother's weekend. So me and my wife take turns. So this was Father's weekend for year 3. Next year is her senior year. And that will be Mother's weekend. But there's also family weekend, and then there's also going to be graduation. So I'll have at least 1 or maybe 2 opportunities, maybe 3, to go back down. And it's a little pricey. It's the cost of an airline ticket. That's why we kind of alternate and take turns. But it's worth every second, and it's been a great experience for her. It's been a great journey. She could get on and do a webinar and a talk someday of her journey to not being so sure she made the right decision, to a glorious level of success and a huge career waiting for her on the other side, as a very sought after industrial engineer. So my theory always was, I come from single parent. My dad really wasn't in the picture, a little bit. Died young though. He died about my age, actually. Maybe he's a couple of years older. He may have been 58 when he passed away. But my mother did the best she could. It's hard for single moms, with sons, especially myself and my brother. And I had teachers and coaches. I had a great grandfather who was a male influence figure, but I had to figure still some stuff out on my own. And I'm sure my brother did as well. So you forge a path. And one of my big things always was, I want to be the father to my kids that I didn't have. And that's no knock to him, God rest his soul. But it's just, I sat in CCD class until 12th grade. I had to write that down on paper. So I achieved that. And then everything else is gravy. Um, but my daughter has been a great influence because she had a tough beginning. She was born a preemie, 2 pounds and 10 ounces. Then she developed epilepsy when she was 3 years old, which she's grown. She's grown now. She overcame the epilepsy thanks to a great doctor that we had. It was caught before if they don't get the right medication, you're on a clock. You have a couple of years to figure it out. If you can't reverse it, then that's what you live with the rest of your life. So we've been very blessed. Um, and I have to really think about that, and I have to look at that, and I have to think about the platform that I'm on. And I do have an opportunity every week to get on and talk, and I have an opportunity to post things on Facebook, and I have an opportunity to have sessions with people, whether they be public or private. And everybody comes at life a different way, and some people are really happy and some people aren't, and some people are struggling and some people are kind of in the middle, and some people are thriving. But if you're somebody who's struggling, certainly I am volunteering myself to be a helper for you. And no matter what, it can be outside of business, just somebody to listen, right? And all of that type of stuff. So that's kind of the new coaching angle. But where this sort of came from was my daughter has always been a trailblazer, right? She went out to my son, obviously, great guy, doing great in Texas. He's just older. So she's sort of in the crosshairs of the family right now, getting her developed and moving forward. But she was a trendsetter to go to Arizona. She took the best deal, not necessarily the college that she wanted to, but the best deal. So she kind of had a good financial thought there. And this day and age with student loans, not bad. Smart kid, picking up on some clues from her brother, and sometimes the younger sibling learns from the older sibling, and parents that maybe for the first time. I never really had to deal with, um, high college expense and back in my day. And my wife really maybe a little bit more, but not to the level that it is with the kids today. So we were still learning with my son, but my daughter paid very close attention. So she made a move that in the beginning was very hard to be 1,800 miles away from your family, but she overcame that and she got into she moved around her engineering field a little bit, and really got into the sweet spot. Involved in a sorority, has great sisters there, so to speak, more support, and she's an influencer in a positive way. So, and from a religious standpoint, everybody comes at religion a different way, right? There's no right or wrong at all, and I'm not here to preach and all of that, just to share my journey or my story. But you know, I, my upbringing was very religious, but then maybe I kind of got away from that. Never really losing core values that I was taught, but getting away from some of the what do you call it? Some of the distractions or the things that you know sometimes get in the way of you really listening to that inner voice. So there was a period of time where I was kind of still holding my core values and all of that, but not maybe going to the physical building, if you know what I mean. So my daughter actually, in her struggles and journey in Arizona, found a great place, and she took me to it on Sunday, right? Because I only had a couple of days to be there. So she took me to this place on Sunday, and it was sort of a reawakening, and my inner voice sort of switched on again. And there was some words that were spoken, like you have to, sometimes the voice isn't the right voice. Like if the voice says go and push somebody off a cliff, that's not the right voice. So you do have to distinguish and sort of go through the Rolodex of these voices. But anything that's encouraging, that's positive, that's pushing you in a good direction. And we all know right from wrong, right? There's not a question about that, right? Cheating isn't bad, stealing is bad, obviously killing is bad, being disloyal is not good, it's bad. So we know right from wrong, but sometimes we listen to the wrong voice. Sometimes there's external influences, but there is an inner voice in all of us, no matter what our background is, where we come from, who we are. There's always a little something, and that can get switched off because we're so preoccupied with, I got my online business and I got all these bills that I got to take care of, and I may have an offline job that I have to go to, and this and that and the other thing. I got to catch up on Netflix and this and that, we may sometimes be tuning into the wrong channel. That's all. So sometimes if you can find a good friend, if you can find a good somebody to talk to, if you can find somebody that can plug you into a community, a positive out, this is a great community, but this is a marketing online business community. But if you can get plugged into a offline community that matches what you're looking for in life, that kind of represents your values, or you're willing to take a chance and try something different that somebody else is offering, and long as it's not anything in our moral code that says wrong. Remember, right and wrong is pretty easy to distinguish. So we listen to our voice. It can help. Our inner voice can help guide us. We know who the people are in our life who can help us, and be positive influences and whatnot. So yeah, once my switch flipped, I started looking at things differently, and I started thinking, how can I, using my platform, because the inner voice talks to you and it says, what are you doing? Right? What more can you do? Right? Is it just all about the money, or is there more of a calling, if you will, that you can take? And when somebody is I consider myself a professional orator, somebody who can get up and teach, and get up and do a talk in front of, whether it be 5, 10, 100, 1,000. I feel that that's a blessing. That's something I didn't always have in my journey. I told you a lot about my daughter's journey. In my journey, I was shy. I couldn't stand up in front of people. I had anxiety. I was nervous. I didn't have a lot of self-confidence. But so a lot of blessings into what I have kind of moved into, and things that I've discovered that allowed me to develop and become a better platform speaker. So at this point, and maybe it's just after a while in age and accumulation, now you're in a position where you can pretty much do the best. It's like the greatest hits, right? You can literally take everything now and use it for positive good. And again, we're all marketers. We have platforms, right? So we want to use our businesses in a positive way. There are great products and things that we have that can help people. So we have to listen to that positive, good voice as well. And that's really, I think, the biggest thing when it comes to the inner voice and listening. There's that voice that says, "Don't make that phone call today." That's the one you don't want to listen to. That's not a Remember, that wouldn't make sense, would it? That's not a good inner voice, right? So keep listening. So in Arizona, we took a hike in the desert, like a 2 mile, and boy, that's taking a walk like that. And you may not be privy to go to a cherished spot like that, because if you're familiar with Arizona and the desert, that's hallowed ground. Native Americans and I'm not a super history guy going back that far, but that's a long time of, if you go back to the Native Americans that were, all over that piece of land. There you stand back, or if you go to a quiet spot in a forest with a stream, that can help turn your inner voice on as well. Or just a really great speaker, somebody who can bring concepts to life, can turn on your inner voice. But again, that there's that naggy thing that tells you not to do things. And as long as these things aren't harmful, and you have a prodding to, I really want to say something to this person. I've always meant to have a conversation with them. I've always wanted to. Don't always it. Don't always it. Just do it, for crying out loud. Because, at some point, we're one little speck in this major scheme, and it's not all about us. I'm sorry to tell you this. I apologize in advance. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about we. It's about us. It's about a huge expansion of so many people. And if we if we're so worried about, oh, my hair's sticking up, I got a mark on my face, my teeth aren't perfect. We're all self-absorbed. Think about others always before yourself. That's a good life advice. And that will set you on a path of service, help, and support. Because, and sometimes my kids would get mad at me when I would say this, but one of the lessons that I taught them was, there's always somebody worse off than you. And my grandmother used to say that. And my grandmother had a completely deformed leg that was botched up in a surgery that never should have gone like that, just a simple knee surgery that crippled her on one side, which caused then a hip problem on the other side. And, you know, you would look and say, and she would get on her knees and she would go to church and she would get on her knees for 3 hours sometimes. For 3 hours. Okay. And she would always say, people would say, wow, why do you do that? Or how do you do that? Or how can you stand that? Or aren't you bitter or mad that you weren't able to anymore run up and down the street with your grandkids and do things? She says, there's always somebody worse off than me. There's people worse off than me. There's people that are worse off than you. So today we count our blessings. We appreciate our business. We look at what we have in the TL2I cash mailer, traffic leads to income. Oops, and look, I have a OneDrive message here from Marlon Brando. So, yeah, that could have been an interesting sign from somewhere, right? I didn't even really read it. But anyway, so the bottom line here is, you know, we are, it's not all about us. It's about really us being part of a greater calling. And, you know, all of us marketers should feel really good about what we can do to be in any different way, many different ways, but always think about the, you know, how you can help and support people. And I think that that will translate into great business results for you in 2024. And I encourage you to put that post on your Facebook to say, my goal in 2024 is to make a positive difference with one person every day. You'll get a lot of likes and comments. Then I want you to get into chat with those people. And I want you to say, you know, how can I help you? You know, and maybe they need to cry on your shoulder for a minute. And that's, we get that out of the way. Okay, how else can I help you? And make, you know, you make friends that way and you influence people that way. And they say, oh my God, I'm so glad that and when you start getting that, now you know you're on the right track. So then you become an addict of that. I want more and more and more of that. So we don't set aside the fact that, you know, you can give all your wisdom away. You can certainly do all that. But if you're trying to earn online, there's also a price of admission for people too. But your help and support certainly gives them a return on that investment and helps them then turn around and pay it forward again. So, you know, there's a lot of different angles here. There's a lot of different philosophies. There's a lot of different things that I didn't say that don't matter, because it's really about you today. And it's about you putting yourself out there and not worrying about what other people are going to think, not worrying about that you're not ready. You are ready because you came here today. You listened to this recording. You caught this by accident. There is reason to why things happen. There is thoughts like that, right? It's just not random, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. Things just don't happen randomly, but you have to seek out your inner voice. And that's what I compel you to do today. So I thank you very much for my listening audience that are listening to this recorded. For anybody live who's still in Zoom, we'll do our Q&A right now. I've got a 12 o'clock appointment, which is great. If you ever want to make an appointment with me and, you know, talk about anything, robgearing.com/calendar. The most popular topic is, you know, marketing mentoring, but you know what? It's an open calendar, right? And it doesn't cost you anything, robgearing.com/calendar. So I thank you very much. I am going to now come back to our esteemed group here, and we are going to, we're still running on YouTube, but we'll stop the sharing. We don't have to stop a recording. And so our YouTube audience will also continue to see what's going on here. So I'm going to stop the screen share, and I'm looking at comments here now. So this is the chance for you guys to step up to the mic, or you can just put a question or comment in as well, and I will address it. So who else do we have left here? We have Marcia, Elizabeth, Vicky, Rahima, and okay, that was a small but mighty group today. Look at Marcia with the little one. Hey, Marcia, what's going on?
I know. She's getting crabby.
What a blessing.
I have a question that, like you said, email your downline in the mailer. Does that email then only goes into the site?
Yeah, so that's what I did in my audio. In my audio message to Steve this morning in Team Master Success, it's a limited reach because it's going to the cash mail inbox of your downline. So are they going to see that or not? So that's why we want to, we should be using a lead capture page. We should have all the fields there, including the phone field. So you should really be focusing on sending broadcasts to your list and then contacting the people that are in your, you can look at your list components and it'll show you the phone number. So if they're not, you can send them a personal email, you can text them, you can call them, but you want to do everything you can to connect with them and plug them into the system. And that's really the thing. So I would say the most limited thing would be to just basically say, I got a downline in TL2I. I'm going to basically just use the downline mailer. That's limited. So you definitely want to at least, get into your leads lead and, kind of work from there and see your people and all their details there. So hopefully that was helpful to you, Marcia.
So, yeah, because the referrals I have there aren't active.
Okay. You should be able to go to,
Two of them are
to
on the email list.
yeah, so you have to cross-reference your email list. Other than that, so one of the advantages of the upper upgrades, if you get to TL2 level, I will give you the email address and phone number of your downline in the back office because it says right there, click here. You can't get that information yet. So that's another way to ensure that anybody who joins TL2I, you've got their, don't have to worry, you got the details there. So, okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Marcia. Appreciate you coming today. All righty. We'll go ahead and mute Marcia. And what about,
Oops.
I don't know if I can mute.
Oh, I'm clicking at the same time.
Oh, you go ahead and click it, Marcia. There you go. Rahima, what do you got? Anything? Or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
I don't have anything. I'm going to set up an appointment with you for leads leap thing. But.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's what it's there for. It's for whatever you need to help you in your journey. It's all a journey to earning, but there's a lot of other stuff. I'm starting to believe that there's more than just business that gets in the way for people. That's part of my new kind of helpful approach. It's a little bit of a non-business twist too. So thanks, Rahima. I will look forward to seeing that.
Okay.
All righty. Thanks, Rahima. You can go ahead and mute yourself. Elizabeth, yeah, me and Elizabeth have a lot of good, maybe not physical conversations, but a lot of messaging. And I do know what you're talking about, Elizabeth. And, that's always the thing. We have to try to come up with and we've done a lot of workarounds, and you've done a great job over the years in figuring out ways to kind of get through obstacles. So that's always going to be a thing for all of us, not just you or me, or you, Elizabeth, and me, or anybody else here on this panel. So, okay, cool. All righty. How about Vicky? And yes, it would be cool to meet everybody. I agree with your comment there. You able to jump in, Vicky, or are you good to go too? It's fine if you're not able to.
I'm good. I always think of things later.
You think of things later. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I appreciate your audio. So I love that you shot that audio for, that was a Great Life audio, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think, right? Yeah.
There was so much value in that.
Yeah.
That, for any opportunity.
Yeah.
So, I had to.
Yeah, that's good. So your inner voice compelled you, right? To do
yes,
good.
It did.
See. So I think it's starting to come. Like, I'm seeing the world from different glasses right now. And I'm not even wearing glasses right now, but I'm seeing the world differently. And I just have my daughter to thank for kind of plugging me back in again and allowing something to reboot within me that always was there, but I'd forgotten a little bit, or what I'm saying. So that was my whole talk today. So very good. Thanks, Vicky.
Thank you.
You can contact me via email at ghcamry@gmail.com. That's my signature email. The paid Gmail too. So I actually pay these guys so that I can never have to delete any email. So it's an upgraded one. It's probably good. They probably take care of me. I also pay Facebook to keep me from being cloned. is no clone's going to pay the fee there. So I have the blue check mark at Facebook to protect my interest there, because that's a huge resource there. So cool. All righty. So I think we're good. We're going to close out, and it looks like we're still streaming on YouTube. So if anybody's watching this now on YouTube, just let me know. That way I can at least understand if my subscribers are actually people that plug in and go right to the lives. Because Facebook, not so much. So I want to see if YouTube maybe gives a different perspective there. Okay. All right, team. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to get ready for my talk with Manowar. So I'm going to leave the room, but then I'll come back at 12. But that's a meeting with me and Manowar, part of our coaching. See what he's got going on. He's doing a great job as well. Somebody who I've mentored. He's an MSF mod client of mine. And I give him the skinny, like, here's exactly what to do. And he's then got to go out and do it. That's the problem. See, not everybody wants the mentoring because they may not actually what I say, but that's all I can do is tell you what works, and then let you decide at the end of the day. All right, thanks, guys, and well, ladies. I think this is all ladies here, and there's no guys here. Chris is under the weather, unfortunately. My buddy Chris, but he'll be watching this, and I give him a shout out for all he does and helps rein me in. And I throw a lot of things at him before it comes into the talks and whatnot. He also helps with the graphics that you see and different things. So a great guy, and he helps a lot of you guys too, and ladies. So thank you very much, Chris. And on that note, we will end this meeting. To your massive success, and see